Hi, Devon Wolf, Mystical Drumming, mysticaldrumming.com. We're going to use sticks to teach us how to play instead of playing with sticks. So the sticks, they can show us how we can better hold our body and play with our body. Mystical drumming is an incorporation of using the mind and the martial arts in drumming. If you look at mysticaldrumming.com, you'll see more information, and there's a great video series that you can purchase to help you to just explode as a drummer. Okay, so showing you some of this here. When our spine is straight, there are energy outlets, nerves, meridians, a lot of subtle energy zones that come out of the spine. So when the spine is straight, when we are correctly aligned, it's one of the reasons we see a chiropractor, because they make the spine straight to make the energy come out of our spine better, the flow down our spinal cord, so it goes to organs and wherever in a better way. Why people get acupuncture, acupressure, these kind of things as well, not to keep the spine straight, but to make more energy flow. So we want the spine to be straight so that we have more energy flow. As well, it keeps our body able to be more fluid while we play the drums in a loose way. Loose, 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 loose. We want to be loose. When we're getting loose, we want to get even more loose. When we're loose, more loose. And when we're loosest as possible, more loose. We never hit a point where I'm as loose as possible. We can get more loose. If you live to be 1,000,000 years old, you'd still be working and getting looser. Okay, so there's no I'm there. Okay, there is no there. Okay, so we take a stick and if we planted it directly in the ground and it was straight up in the air, straight, this would be our spine. So we don't want to be leaning forward into the stick or leaning away from the stick. The stick shows us how we should be. Not military straight, because now there's tension, right? We want it to just be straight. And we want to now also be straight across. Our shoulders should not be leaning, okay? Guys like to lean when they're playing drums. Either they're pressing this way or pressing this way, causing tension. Or they're pressing either way, like playing a hi-hat, or they're going to do a fill over here, and they're doing this, back and forth, and probably make me dizzy right now. I'll cut it out, okay? Alright, so the shoulders should be dropped straight across. So the stick shows us, right? Shoulder, shoulder, they're dropped. When my shoulders are dropped, my arms are loose. They're loose. Okay, everything is loose. My hands are totally loose, right? I'm loose, right? Loose. If I raise my arm up at all, once I raise my shoulder up, everything is now engaged. Once you raise your shoulder up, everything is now engaged. Okay, so you're not loose here anymore. This is actually tense. By raising your shoulder, drop your shoulder, and everything's loose. The elbow, if we put a stick in right here, in between our arm and our chest, there should be no room in here. Not pressed, we can't get a stick in. I'm not talking about pressing in, I'm talking about just dropping your arm. If you're playing like this, your elbow being off of your body, it's going to cause tension all in here, and you're not loose anymore. It's supposed to, it's all loose, right? It's just loose. That's what you want, looseness. And more into infinity. So this stick goes here and shows us where our arm should be and how our arm should be. So we're straight, and we're this way, right? Okay. So far, so good. I highly recommend, by the way, a back to a chair. It helps to keep your body straight where you're not, first of all, it doesn't hurt after playing for a while, and as well helps you to keep in a good proper position. Okay. Invest in a good stool if you have the means. I highly recommend it. It's kind of like the foundation of your whole thing. So you're playing. So just really, this thing's maybe skimping on, but to me, a stool is not It's actually, to me, more important than your kit to be really comfortable in your seat, because it will totally affect your playing. I happen to live near New York City, so I go to Manhattan, and it's funny, I see these old-time jazz musicians a lot, and you see these old-time drummers, and these guys are like really old, and they have like ratty tat, you know, sticks, and skins are like, they have like tape all over them, and the cymbals usually broken, and you know, they're like dressed very informally, and their shoes are like worn out, and you know, all this, and they make incredible sound. I mean, just like, you know, mind-boggling, you know, great groovy sound. And you got these guys with like, you know, drum. I happen to wear these only because of my, I was on my deathbed, came back, and so I have some damage to my body. That's not nearly what it was. It's just some lingering damage. So these help me to play. Otherwise, I would not be wearing them. So, okay. So that being said, yes, if you need something like this because you're disabled in some way, such as I am, then fine, use it. But other than that, you know, I'm talking about guys like, I got drumming gloves and drumming shoes, and I actually saw drumming shoes. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, drumming shoes, really? You know, that's fine if you have them. They help you, great, whatever. But I don't know. It's, you know, I don't know about that, drumming shoes. Anyway, I'll get back to this. Okay, so the hand. The hand should be open. Okay, so I use my left hand because my right hand is damaged. Okay, it's all screwed up from my disease. You can read more about that or hear more about that in other videos. The hands. So the hand, so we want to teach the stick how to hold a stick. So we have a fulcrum, okay, which is the index finger and thumb. Sorry, my cowbell. Okay, so index and thumb. It holds the stick in such a way that, this is kind of gross, but it works. Don't actually do this, it's only an analogy. If you drill through, got the Home Depot, got a drill, and through your thumb and index finger, and there was a bolt. Okay, so now you'd have a stick representing a bolt, if I can get things in balance, on here. I'll hold it, okay. So now you'd have a bolt in here that would be lubricated with ultra good lubrication, such as something that moves in a car engine. How fast does something move in a car engine? You know, you have two pieces of metal next to each other, but there's like a washer or something that's lubricated. The car engine goes, you know, I don't know how crazy, you know, RPMs, whatever it is. I'm not a mechanic, I'm not mechanically oriented, so I don't know, but I know it's very fast. You're a piece of metal that are moving next to each other very fast. It's kind of like this. So though these things are not connected, they can move very fast, which is like in a car engine, be very fluid to the point of as being as fast as a car engine, you know, hypothetically. Okay, so we use the stick to show us that the index finger and thumb should be fixed, firm, but completely loose. Right? So firm but loose, two different things? No, same thing. The tips of the fingers go across the stick. The pinky on the stick. Do not let the pinky fly open. The pinky, yes, the bone structure is weak, weaker than the other bones in the other hand, obviously. However, it's connected to all these muscles in the side of the hand. So we want that pinky on the stick, so as we manipulate a stick, which should be done with the fingers, right? We want finger manipulation, okay? To create dynamics. We want the fingertips because when I stick a stick into the hole of my hand, when my fingertips are on the stick, so okay, I hope you can see this. I'm holding the fulcrum, and then I'm putting the tips of my fingers on the stick. The stick is then coming down on a 45-degree angle across the fleshy part of the palm, which is not, is covered up by my compression glove. However, the bottom left of the bottom of your palm, not the center, because if you did that, the stick would be hitting your wrist, right? Now, obviously, if you're this way, it would be all twisted up. So you go this way, where the stick is hitting that nice fleshy part. There's an opening here now, and at any time you will stop playing and put your stick in there like that. A lot of guys play like they clasp down on the stick, and they kind of like flat-handed. Well, it doesn't leave for a lot of dynamics. When I keep my hand open like this, meaning open with space, I can use my fingers to flip the stick. Right? I could flick the stick. Right? So we're flicking the stick with our fingers, all 4 fingers. If the stick goes into close to the palm, where it's riding in the middle of the fingers, I'm losing the ability, like playing a flute or playing a trumpet or playing something like that. Right? Some kind of instrument we're using your fingers. It's the same thing here. If the stick goes too far out, my fingertips don't have the ability to touch the stick. So I want the stick to be on the fingertips with that nice loose fulcrum going across the fleshy part of the hand with an opening. Right? Try to not crush down on the stick like that, because look what's happening. I'm all wrist, which you can go pretty fast doing this, but you can have a lot more dynamics and much more speed. Much more dynamics and speed if you keep your hand open. So if you're in the habit of closing down, or you're playing here where the stick is hitting your wrist, it's not helping you. Okay. Okay. So this way, this way, this way. Make sure this is loose. Make sure this is open. Right. Make sure the stick is being held correctly. And 6 can help us to see how we drum. Okay, as well as breathing. Make sure you're breathing. Put your stick on your chest and your stick on your stomach. Breathe into the stick on your stomach so your body stays relaxed. Okay? So use your sticks to teach you how to play. It's a great tool. There's more on mysticaldrumming.com. And the drum system you can buy at mysticaldrumming.com, which shows you how to combine the ancient wisdom of martial arts with the infinite capacity of the mind, incorporating that into the drums, and all kinds of really cool things happen. Okay, so hit the like button, please, and join, subscribe, and go to our webpage and join the newsletter. And yeah, we'll see you next time, and enjoy your drumming, enjoy your life.